people ask me, what is Business Forward? This forum is Business Forward. This is what we do. We bring senior policymakers like Melody into a room with innovators like Marc Ecko and innovators like yourselves. And we have an opportunity to really find private-public collaborations, projects, and action items to solve some of our biggest problems.
Thank you for coming this morning. This is why I wanted to be part of Business Forward. And just thank you to everyone that's come this morning.
Thank you so much to Marc for being such a wonderful host. We know that it's the right thing to do, but we also know as a country that education, for the sake of education, creates a better, stronger citizenry, and that every right that we have as citizens in a democracy rests on the fact that we are well educated. Unharnessing that innovation that we know exists on the ground, making sure that there's money for that, ensuring that there are the partnerships between local education institutions or local districts and the not-for-profit community, unleashing the partnerships that exist between the public and private sector so those innovations can be brought to scale, and that we can also, both as the Department of Education and others, learn from that innovation so that we can apply it around the country to all of our students.
It's really important for those of us who are currently in the business community to have an understanding of what the priorities are coming out of the White House, and she did a tremendous job of laying those out. There's a very real synergy that the government can have with the private sector in putting forth the ideas, in pushing and helping to create the political will for improving the education system.
Unleashing the partnerships that exist between the public and private sector so those innovations can be brought to scale.
This is my first time at the forum. To see Melody speak, that was very, very helpful to see that education is a core topic that the President is thinking about, to understand sort of the policies that are now in place. And it's nice to see that because you hear about a lot of complaints but not a lot of actions. What's the view on pay for performance? We talk about accountability for teachers. It seems to me that they're very open to hearing the views and improvements that we can actually deliver, and they're open to hearing and taking that advice.
I know there's been experimentation in other parts, certainly around the world, certainly with regard to what you're talking about in other school districts, and it's certainly worth taking a look at that and seeing what can we cull from it.
If this isn't customer or consumer or citizen driven, we ain't going to get any place, because the forces in the way are going to be much more powerful than the forces we're trying to drive through.
The way we talk, okay, this is real inside baseball stuff. And we just need that buckle up for safety kind of moment, our Smokey the Bear moment, so that we create more critical thinking consumers of this dialogue.
It was a very, very pleasant surprise to see how involved Marc Ecko is. It's obvious that it was very, very important subject to him and his heart, and it's good to see him so well versed on the education, and to see him willing to do what it takes to build the connections, to use Business Forward and get a conversation out there on the mainstream where everyone's talking about it.
How can we help you? And you asked about feedback loops, right? I think one of the biggest concerns I continue to have is that the feedback loop with and from the actual educators is lacking right now. It's still very high level and academic and policy wonky. And so engaging and getting their feedback of what we can do to support them, I think is the next step of these conversations. I just want to say thank you to Business Forward. It was encouraging to see the administration be here, engaging with both the private, public sector, getting that feedback. And I think it's a strong reminder for all of us that we're all on the same side and trying to do what's right for all of our students in the U.S. And being able to have that conversation outside the traditional walls of education is a great thing.